strong acceleration in e-commerce over the last few years, especially during the COVID times. But now we really have to prepare for a new normal because consumers are going back to retail, and we see that e-commerce and retail are going to coexist, and we really have an omni-channel world in the future. If we look back at the development of e-commerce share over the last years, we have seen a tremendous acceleration after the COVID pandemic. So here in this graph, we will see the total e-commerce penetration in the United States, one of the biggest e-commerce markets in the world. And we have seen that the acceleration that we had in 8 weeks during COVID has been as fast as the acceleration that we have seen in the 10 years prior. So really, really a strong acceleration with a very, very big shift as well in consumer behavior, but also in the way businesses are engaging with consumers and are targeting their consumers online. But the good news is that these growth rates are not slowing down. We see that in the predictions, and this is now global, that retail e-commerce sales worldwide are continuing to grow this year, but also the next years. So e-commerce is really, really here to stay. But what's surprising over the last couple of months, and I think this is not only true for L'Oreal, is that we have also seen retail bounce back very, very fast. And we have seen, especially in the Cyber Week and Black Friday, a very, very strong acceleration here in the United States for retail, and consumers really going back to retail to have the experience. So what we need to do in the future is to really find a business model that helps to coexist and that helps to have an omni-channel experience. Because e-commerce is not only accelerating, it will be the first consumer touch point. So it's shifting from just having a product page and selling a product to really being more holistic and really having an educational factor as well, giving consumers the opportunity to visit your site and to find your products there, to get educated, and then go to a store to experience the product, to maybe try it, and then go back to your online sites to replenish it. And the lines are going to be more and more blurry. So if we look at the vision of L'Oreal for the future, is we see 50% e-commerce share across all of our different brands and across all of our markets. So in the future, 50% of our business will be done on e-commerce. And the prediction right now is that this will be the case for 2025, but we know that already some of our brands are already there today. So if you just think that L'Oreal has a global turnover of around $30 billion worldwide, it means that $50 billion will be done on e-commerce. This is a huge figure, and of course, a huge part of the business, and it has a huge acceleration that comes with it. But also this growth is going to come with new challenges. As I said, 15 billion in turnover. This is a lot of logistics, a lot of parcels, a lot of sending packages directly to consumers. And I think for right now, we see 3 different challenges that will be very, very crucial in order for companies to be successful. The first one is acquisition costs. So we see a stronger competition in digital because consumers started to search online, and they will continue to search online. So also brands are more and more investing into acquiring consumers online and really targeting directly on search engines and in social. So it's really, really getting more expensive to acquire consumers in these channels. And 41% of brands plan to further increase their paid and organic search budgets. So search is really going to be one of the battlefields where we fight for consumers with our competitors, but also with retailers entering these new ways of advertising. The second point is data privacy. So consumers are more and more cautious about whom they give their data to. And this also makes it more difficult for companies to target consumers in the right way. So on the one hand, you have a higher acquisition cost, and on the other hand, you have more and more consumers opting out, which means that your return on ad spend, your efficiency in online advertising is decreasing. And then the third one is something that is related specifically to e-commerce, and this is sustainability. So this growing volume of order calls for a more sustainable supply chain that is integrated on a holistic way. So not only in terms of sending packages to consumer, but also in terms of how do we package these goods, how do we make sure that we have frustration-free packaging, that we don't have one packaging inside another packaging. And I think one brand that is really leading the way here is Nike with their sustainable packaging initiative. So their move to zero, which is a very, very interesting case in my eyes. So if we look into the success factors and what has made us so successful at L'Oreal over the last 2 years, in 2022, I saw 3 success factors. The first one really was brand building and a focus on sharpening the brand image to increase visibility. So we see that in this world where we have this very, very strong competition online, and we move from going to a store where you have a shelf where you maybe see like 50, 60 to 100 products, to searching on your desktop, you only had 10. Now, if you look in your mobile phone, you only have maybe 3 results that you really see and that you really pay attention to. And if we look into the future of voice search, we know that it will only be 1 result. So the brand is becoming very, very important. The second part is loyalty. So really creating strong connection with consumers to increase customer lifetime value. So we see that the efficiency of a consumer that is loyal is much, much higher than the efficiency of a consumer that gets acquired, because the acquisition is something that takes a lot of time and a lot of budget. And then the third part really is sustainability. And here it's more a sharing of what we do today and our vision, and really giving you concrete examples, while for brand building and loyalty, I will give you some concrete examples today. Let's dive into brand building.